lips and black raw. In the projects, Rich is whipping that black hard. I'm just saying, my skills is whipping that crack hard. Look at LeBron James. The black guard, got big lips and black raw. As soon as I leave Earth, it's back to the stars. Riding the job lives with jewelers and girls. Just ask not to follow the world. Yo, my mental vision, setting up intuition. Have nothing if you intuition. I work with light just to give birth to life. I was born in all forms in the perfect night. The black god got big lips and black rods. As soon as I leave Earth, it's back to the start. I am the ruler, just like the Lion of Judah. My third eye was built like an iron computer. That's dark matter and deep thought making your heart shatter. I sleepwalk, talking with smart chatter, so I don't need you to ride or die with me. I got ancestors that vibe from the other side with me, and they beam up life after death. We got noses on our eyes, cause the light's a breath. My priceless flesh, the final copy. Look like Anunnaki, like God. Got big lips and black raw. In the projects, Rich is whipping that black hard. I'm just saying, my skills is whipping that crack hard. Look at LeBron James. The black guard, got big lips and black raw. As soon as I leave Earth, it's back to the stars. Right, the job lives with jewelers and girls. Just ask not if I rule the world. Yo, the black guard, got big lips and black rods. In the projects, Rich is whipping that black hard. My rhymes the same, my skills is whipping that crack hard. Look at LeBron James, that nigga's a black guard. And you wonder why we spit lead. Just the whole raps, niggas got big heads like old Mac. The way that I'm writing is more than vain. This is the age of enlightenment. The Moors in Spain, now that your honor, I pray to a black vagina. Even the Pope pray to the black Madonna. In the sun, I shine as bright as I be. I'm the greatest of all time, like Muhammad Ali. And when I die, baptized in the fire. Only fly at night, black skies are higher. Prior to job, my lives with jewelers and girls. Just ask nods if I rule the world, rubies and pearls. The black god, got big lips and black raw. In the projects, Rich is whipping that black hard. I'm just saying, my skills is whipping that crack hard. Look at LeBron James. The black guard, got big lips and black raw. As soon as I leave Earth, it's back to the stars. Right, the job lives with jewelers and girls. Just ask nods if I rule the world. Yo, the black guard, from infinite to infinite stars, it's infinite light. My life's got an infinite charge. The instruments I implement to give strength to your heart. The temple within, the imprint, mimic the art. Into the dark, the dragon spark the fathom from a higher consciousness. I talk with atoms, I live in the land, and I live in the stars. Original man, I am the image of God. Call me Tut Ankh-Amen. I cut diamonds, so as long as I live, nothing can stop shining. You gon' need to be in the bins to drive me crazy. Live on CNN, hearing cries from Haiti. You know them people down there trying to hide them babies. The black guards, surrounded in light, attract stars. Black guards, surrounded in light, attract stars. The black guards, surrounded in light, attract stars.
I told you, all of my critics, I told you all that I was greatest of all time. All of you, I know you got it. I know you got it. But the man didn't come. I'm going to show you how great I am. I told you, I'm the real champion. I told you, I'm the champion of all. All of you know. All of my critics know. All of you know.
Open up the heavens, let the sunshine in. The Ducati is an empress about to begin. Giving love to all the ancestors that's tuning in. Here comes the Ducatiers with some more offering.
Going out to the Olmec, Montauk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washita, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Skokie. You know me, the homie is Koji. Coming to restore the crown of the Olmec, Montauk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washita, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Skokie. You know me, the homie is Koji. Coming to restore the crown of the whole.
Super like an eagle, more like a stinging bee. Ancestors ancestors left, right, in front of me. I'm all that big dynasty live inside me. Moon goddess since birth, she worth native, made for greatness. And wild, natural style, rain dancer under the moon, knock through the pearly gates. Escape from Spain to Panama. We still ahead of y'all. Never racing, just slow pacing to the top of the dome. We stand tall, y'all. Never lazy to walk, clap, clap back. For all the more talking shit, never stop. A little petite, but never retreat. 10K is dog on tall, y'all. Chopper riding, we awake, very deep streaming. ET beaming, blunt chop, lightsaber walker, wolf talker, never stop.
The Hallmark, Montauk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washita, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Muskogee. You know me, the homie is OG. Coming to restore the crown of the Hallmark, Montauk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washita, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Muskogee. You know me, the homie is OG. Coming to restore the crown of the Tomahawk chop. An entire city block, big buffalo people coming back to wreck shop. Shit, pop 'em out and pop, can't stop the rebirth for raw. Indigenous rock grip, the native chant, Christ war dance, at a glance. Anyone who glance at the Shechem war dance, Chief Seven Feather Owl, the Moorish Colin Powell, make all these 14th Amendment rappers throw in the towel. Square, compass, and travel. These masons taking oaths, disrespecting ancestors, selling their souls to ghosts. I raise my glass, make a toast to Aboriginal hosts, traveling through the cosmos. That's most, meaning that's on top. My wounded knee bandaged up. Black Hawk, what's up? Geronimo skull. We taking it back from the tomb of the bones when we coming in the rooms and we tune like Hallmark, Montauk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washita, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Muskogee. You know me, the homie is OG. Coming to restore the crown of the Hallmark, Montauk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Washita, Blackfoot, Abenaki, Seminole, Muskogee. You know me, the homie is OG. Coming to restore the crown of the
Open
OG.
up the heavens, let the sunshine in. The Jupiter is an empress about to begin. Giving love to all the ancestors that's tuning in. Here comes the Jupiter with some more offering.
Peace, peace, peace. You're now under the sounds of your brother Ahanu L, aka the Autonomous One. And we're about to go in on this one, y'all. Shout out to all the Aborigines, North, South, Central, and the Conjoining Islands, and the ones that were sent abroad in Europe and other places as well. Shout out to all the brothers, especially all the brothers that's residing in England, London, that came from the Americas, man. So with that being said, you already know what it is. Indians not to be taxed. We about to go in on this. And then you know what? I actually told Kalinago that I was going to do a bill with him. So if Kalinago, if you happen to come in, I'll put the link in the chat. So if you want to just click on the link, you could come on in. Or anybody else that got something they want to add to Indians not taxed. All right. So with that being said, let's get into this shit. All right. So start off with this. Let's start off with the 1860s enumeration instructions to the U.S. Marshals. All right. So number 5, Indians not to be taxed, not to be enumerated. That's it, right? Now look, see this? Indians not taxed are not to be enumerated. And we went over this shit a couple times, but we're going to go real deep into this today, all right? Are not to be enumerated. And what else it says? So the families of Indians that has renounced their tribal rule and the family of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule and who are under state or territory laws. State or territory laws is jurisdiction, my dude. They say exercise the right of citizens are to be enumerated. All right, so take that into. So if you to be enumerated, you exercising the rights of citizens. Okay, that means you renounce your tribal rules. Indians not to be taxed or not to be enumerated. All right. So let's get into this shit, man. All right, so let's go here. Let's go to the Bouviers. Now you know what? Hold up. Let me go here. Shout out to the brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Coda too, man, for definitely enlightening me, stepping up my knowledge. And shout out to my brother Jay Freeway. Freeway, if you hear me, man, if you listening, the link is in the chat. So if you want to come in too, because I want you to kind of touch on Title 25 Indians. So you come on through, just come on through, my brother. All right, so just give me a second, cause my computer is fucking running crazy today. All right, so shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody, all the Aborigines, all right? And like I said, even the ones who got beef with me about my so-called beliefs about, or my so-called understanding of the Moors, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't let that deter you from rocking with people who trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, people can slander my name. I don't give a fuck. Because I'm Indians, not tax, and most of these people slandering my names are exercising the rights of citizens, and they are to be enumerated. So, you know, A1 is something totally different than a lot of these Indians. I'm a metaphysical so-called Aborigine Tanchan, all right? So with that being said, this is the Bouviers, all right? So it say Indians, right? It say Indians of the country. No, I'm sorry. They say Indians. The Aborigines of this country are so called. Okay, so they're telling you that the word Indian refers back to the word Aborigines of this country are so called. Okay, all right. So let's go back out here. Let me see something. Let me see. So let's go to the word Aborigine real quick. All right, we're going to link this. So you see the word Aboriginal, which is an adjective from the 1600s. It's a first, earliest, existing from the beginning, especially in reference to the inhabitants of the land colonized by Europeans. Okay, so let's see something. Let's deal with a little archaeologists and anthropology to put some, you know what I'm saying, to put some you know what I'm saying, to add something to it. So, all right. So, waiting for it to come through. Just give me a second. All right. So, we reading from Smithsonian Institute, the Naya article, the skull that was found in the Yucatan Peninsula, which the anthropologist of this particular article is James Chatter. All right. So, all right. So, he say right here in the article, let's click on this. All right, so let's go right here. All right, so right there you see, it say modern Native Americans closely resemble the people of China, Korea, and Japan, but the oldest American skeletons do not. Okay, so the oldest American skeletons will be what you would call Aborigines. All right, so what is the phenotypes, or what is the understanding to what he's saying that the oldest Americans are? All right, come on, article, man. God damn, computer, this motherfucker sure know when to fuck up. You know what? Let me click this damn link out. Shit. All right, here we go. Let me get rid of this shit. Oh, I actually clicked on a fucking link, man. Shit. All right, wait, when this pop up, I'm gonna get rid of it. Let me see something. All right, let me get out of there. All right. What the fuck is this, man? Hold on, let me get out of there real quick. You know what? All right, there you go. I'm out of there. All right. So right in here is where he gives his, it say that the number of small and early American specimens discovered so far have smaller and shorter faces and longer and narrower skulls than later Native Americans, most closely resembling modern people of Africa, Australian, and South Pacific Islander. Okay, so let's see something real quick. Let me click off this shit. All right, so see what we got up here. We got this. This is from James Farborn, and this is in the British Museum. And all of these are the emblems of America. More likely, this one is the one that's found in the British Museum. Let me click it out. All right, computer, come on, man. Stop the bullshit. All right, so these basically are the emblem of America. I don't know what the fuck is up with my computer, man. When I open all this shit up, it give me all these fucking problems, man. Excuse my language, man. All right, there you go, right there, man. Fuck. So what you're looking at is an emblem of America, right? And these are what the real Indians looked like. Okay, you see right here, they resemble what we consider to be melanated people. Right here, you see another one right here. You see America, the one they found, the one actually British Museum. Also down here, you see another emblem of America. Let me click on this, man. What the fuck is up with this damn computer, man? God damn. Give me a fucking break, man. All right, hold up. All right, here we go. All right, so as James Chatter said, that the first Americans resemble Africans, Australians, people in South Pacific Islands, right? So when we look up the word Indian, say the word Indians are so-called Aborigines, right? All right, so now we got an understanding that this is us. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people who come to this platform should already know that at this point in time. So let's go to something else. Let's go to the Constitution. All right, hold up. Is that the one I'm looking for? No, I got another Constitution pulled up here somewhere. I think it's this one. All right, this is Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And as you see right here, it says representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states, which may include within this union, according to their representative numbers, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, included those bound to service. Those bound to service for a term of a year. Now, remember, the bound to service is like Kalinaga was saying, was people that was in the military. Okay, it's saying and excluding, not exempt, not any. It said excluding Indians not taxed. All right. Now, when you go down, basically everything is saying everything that applies to a United States citizen does not apply to an American Indian, or you know what I'm saying, Indians not taxed. So, like I said, if you are practicing or if you are under the law or state territory and renounce your tribal rule, then you are a citizen. You ain't no fucking, and you could be an Indian all day in your brain all day long. But you could wear head feathers and all that shit all day long. But if you paying taxes, then you're not an Indian. That's how I look at it. All right, you're not an Indian. So what is a tax? Like I said, we kind of touched on a little bit of this. Let's go to tax. All right, so we got tax, right? That's the noun. We don't want the noun. We want the verb. All right. So it say impose tax on, right? Impose tax on. It's saying directly from Latin, taxere, evaluate. What do evaluate mean, y'all? I'm hooked on phonics, so I don't know every fucking thing. But what do evaluate means? Value means count. What do estimate means? Count. What do assess means? Count. What do handle means? It says seizure, charge. So all right, so tax is basically evaluate, estimate, assess, handle, seizure, charge. To touch. You see this right here? It says to touch. To touch, right? It says to touch, to handle. It say the sense of burden, put a strain on. First recorded early 14th century, all right? So basically, an Indian that's not taxed is not to be what? Evaluated, right? Not to be estimated, right? Estimated means counted, right? Not to be assessed, right? Not to be handled, right? Not to be touched, right? Not to put on a burden or put a strain on, okay? All right? So understand that. All of this stuff right here, and then what kind of supports all this stuff? Let me see something right here. So this is the age rip, all right? This is the age rip. All right, it's the American Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. All right, so it say Article 1. It says the American Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People applies to indigenous people of the Americas. Number 2, self-identification as indigenous people will be fundamental criteria for the determining to who this declaration applies. The state shall respect the rights of such self-identification as indigenous. Now, what does it say right here? It says the state shall respect the rights of such self-identification as indigenous individuals. All right, say individuals or collectively in keeping with the practice and institutions of each indigenous people. All right. So let's go down a little bit because I like to get to the other one. Let me see something. All right, let's keep it moving. I swear I hate this fucking computer, yo. God damn. All right, let me see something. Now, go about it is because it kind of breaks it down. Like right here, say section 2, human rights and collective rights, right? Human rights and collective rights, right? So say Article 5, full effect of observance of human rights. Indigenous people and persons have the right to full enjoyment of all human rights and fundamental freedom as recognized in the Charter of the United Nations, the Charter of the Organizations of the American State and International Human Rights Law, right? So Article 5, indigenous people have the collective rights that are indispensable for their existence, well-being, and integral development as people. In this regards, the state recognize and respect the right of indigenous people, Okay, so they're saying you have a right to do this. So if anybody tell you that you're not an Indian, then what applies to them as according to a right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how can you enforce that? We touch right here. Let me see something. Right here. Title 18, Section 242, Declaration of Rights. So you have a right to be an Indian, right? And what did it say? Indians not to be taxed or not to be enumerated, right? So, and it says Indians that renounce their tribal rule are exercising the rights of citizens. Okay, so I don't think you could be an Indian and a citizen. You have to either be a citizen or Indian, not taxed. Okay, so like I said, I'm not trying to take no shots at nobody today. We just want to try to just get a great understanding of this, man. I wasn't going to do this shit. I really wasn't going to do it, man. I'm saying, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the people who I rock with, most of you guys that's in the chat room, most of you guys that's here or whatever. I really wasn't going to do this. Really, I honestly wasn't, because like, I mean, it's just a lot. All right. So Title 18, U.S. Code 242, Declaration of Rights under color of law, right? It's like every motherfucking page I go to is running fucking crazy. What the fuck? Shit. Come on, computer. Stop the bullshit. Stop the madness. All right. Let me see something. Here we go. What the fuck is going on today? All right, here we go. All right. So it say, however, under color of law of any state, statute, ordinance, regulations, or customs, willfully subject any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district deprivations. Come on. All right, so what do the Constitution say? It say representative and direct taxes shall be apportionated apportioned among the several states, which may include within this union. All right. So as you go down right there, say, and excluding Indians not taxed. Okay. So where else do we see this at? Let me see something. Still with y'all guys. This fucking computer is giving me crazy hell today. I don't. Oh boy. Like it's moving a little bit. Alright, so if my computer keep giving me crazy time like that, I'm gonna have to shut it down and redo it, yo, because I can't do no video while my fucking computer keep freezing up on every page. Oh God, what the fuck? Still with you guys. This shit is freezing up on me, man. I cannot do no video like this when my fucking computer is freezing up on every page I click on. All right, so this is crazy, man. I'm gonna have to restart my computer. I'm gonna have to shut this shit down and restart it because I can't do no video while this shit is freezing up on every fucking thing. The fuck, yo? I paid $1,100 for this damn computer. It's a brand new computer. This computer's only a year, probably a little over a year old. Well, I'm gonna say probably about 13 months. All right, so let's go here. All right, so this is House Joint Resolution 3. And what does this say? This says, it says, to the knowledge, a long history of officials, depredations, and ill-conceived policies by the United States government regarding Indian tribes, and offer an apology to all native people. Now remember, that word native is tricky, y'all. Okay? The word native is very tricky. But it say people on the behalf of the United States. All right. So we already know who this is representing. We know who it's talking about. We know who the Aborigines are. We know who first inhabitants, according to what the anthropologists and archaeologists found here. They're talking about us. All right, computer, come on, man. I feel like throwing this shit against the wall, yo. I'm serious. Because it's a brand new fucking computer, and this shit, like everything I'm clicking on today, this shit is giving me crazy time work. Fuck. All right, there you go. So it say, whereas the ancestors of today, native people, inhabit this land of the present day United States since the time of immemorial. All right, the time of immemorial. And for thousands of years before the arrival of the European descent. All right. So say, whereas the people have have for millennia honored, protect, and stored this land we cherished. Okay, they talking about us. All right. So whereas the native people or indigenous or aboriginal or Indians are spiritual people with a deep and abiding belief in the creator. And for millenniums, their people have maintained a powerful spiritual connection. All right. So for those of you guys, because remember, when they came here, they referred to you as ungodly ones. That's another term that a lot of people say that the word Indian refers to, ungodly one. Now we said they said ungodly one, and then they said the children of God, Nino Indios, children of God. Which one of the Padres that came with Columbus referred to the people in the Caribbean and Central and South America. All right. But they refer to us as pagans. You understand? As non-believers or infidels. But here it is right here. They recognizing it, right? So let's go now. You know what? Hold on. Let me go back here real quick. Let me go here real quick. And oh no, it's right here. All right, this is the 1866 Civil Rights Act, right? So it says the same thing in here. It's a be enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled that all persons born in the United States and not subject to any foreign power, excluding Indians not taxed. Now listen, check this shit out. All right. It said excluding Indians not taxed, right? Now look what it says here. Let's highlight this. I'm sorry, let me click it again because this shit is taking. So what do it say all people excluding Indians are? So what do it say? Let's be for real. I don't give a fuck how mad you get because ain't none of you niggas gonna beat my ass. But let's be for real here. What the fuck does this shit say? Okay, read it again. Be enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in the Congress assembled that all persons born in the United States are not subjected to any foreign power. Okay? And who is it excluding? It excluding who? Indians, excluding Indians not taxed, are hereby declared. No, they say excluding Indians not taxed. So when you see that, when the comma, it say are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States. So everybody excluding Indians not taxed, and basically, that's born within the United States and not subjected to any foreign power, excluding Indians not taxed, are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States. Okay. Okay. All right. I mean, it's straightforward with that. You know what I'm saying? You can't deviate from this right here. It tells you right here all, and what did the 1860 enumeration says. It says all Indians tribal declared are to be citizens, right? What do this say? This says that excluding Indians not taxed, right? It said excluding Indians not taxed. It said hereby declared to be citizens of the United States. So if you're Indian not taxed, then you're not basically a United States citizen. Okay? You're not a United States citizen if you Indian not taxed, according to them. This is them. Okay, now what did the UNDRIP, what did the ADRIP say? Let's go back here. I know this shit gonna take a little time. So. This shit is not moving as fast as I would like it to move. It says indigenous people have the collective rights that are indispensable for their existence, well-being, and integral development as people. In regards to the state, recognize and respect the rights of indigenous people to their collective actions. It said to their own judicial, social, political, economic systems or institutions, to their own culture. Okay. Now look, let's see something real quick. Let me see something. Make sure I'm going to the right thing. What we got? Let's go. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm going to the right place. Let's go back here. Let's go back to the Constitution real quick. I'm sorry, hold on. I lost my train of thought. Let me go back. So it say collective rights, right? Collective rights, Article 5. Let's see something. Now, right here, it say rights to belong to indigenous people. Indigenous people and communities have the right to belong to one or more indigenous people. It say in ordinance with the identity, traditions, and customs and systems of belonging of each people. No discrimination of any kind may arise from the exercise of such right. All right. Now look, we're gonna go down to right here. Rejection of assimilation. You know what I'm saying? Rejection of assimilation right here, right? So it's indigenous people have the right to maintain, express, and freely develop their cultural identity in all respects, free from any external, exempt act assimilation. Okay. It say the state shall not carry out, adopt, support, or favor any policy to assimilate the indigenous people, to destroy their cultures. Okay. Now, look, what does that say? Now, look, now protection against genocide. Indigenous people have the right to not be subjected to any genocide or attempt to exterminate them. Okay. Now let's go down. It says indigenous people have the right not to be subjected to racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, or other related form. Now, xenophobia could also be when these people reject you, as when you tell them you're American Indian, right? And they reject your rights. Like, let's say if you traveling and you know what I'm saying, and a policy officer pull you over, and once you tell them that once you tell them that you are American Indian, and you are basically enforcing your rights that's given to you by the Constitution, right? Now look, check. I already know this shit gonna take all fucking day, so all right, so come on. All right, so let's go here real quick. All right, so let's go back to the top. So this is House Con 331. I think this the one that Colin Lago showed. I don't know if he showed this one or 3, but I think it was 3 he showed. But this is 3. I got 3 up there and 331. So basically, right here, this is the concurrent resolution. Okay, so this is the concurrent resolution, right? What does it say right here? It say to acknowledge the contributions of the Iroquois Confederacy of a nation to develop the United States Constitution and to affirm the continuing government to government relationships between Indian tribes and the United States established in the Constitution. So government to government, meaning you wouldn't be part of that government. That's what it means. It means you got your own government, right? That's what it basically means. You have your own government, okay? You have your own government. So basically, it's saying government to government relationships, all right? And what did it say? What did it say in the let's go back. It says indigenous people have the right to maintain, express, and freely develop their cultural identity in all respects. It says free from internal attempt to assimilation. Okay, so just for you guys, you know, because I'm hooked on phonics. Y'all already know, man. Let's go to let's go here real quick. Let's look up what the word assimilate means. Assimilation. All right, so just give me a second, man. This shit is taking forever, man. I hate doing videos on this computer when this shit does this. Fuck, yo, come on, computer. What the fuck is you giving me a hard time for? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is making my computer run so damn slow. Everything I'm clicking on Chrome takes forever to respond. This is unfucking believable. Alright, just give it a second, man. This is some bullshit, yo. Damn. Still here with you guys. This shit right here, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to rock out like this, y'all. I'm gonna probably have to do a part 2, man, because this shit right here, I cannot do a video like this. And every 5 minutes, this shit keep freezing up on me. The fuck, yo? Like, damn. Shit still not fucking responding. Unfucking believable. Fucking believable. Oh, boy. That shit took almost 2 minutes for it to come to this one page. The fuck, yo? I hate when this shit do this. Damn. You know what? Let me close this shit up. This Here we go. I spelled it wrong. Hold on. All right, so here we go. That's the noun. Let me see something. That's all it's giving us is that. So let's go to assimilation, which that is a noun. Let me see something. All right, so assimilate. Let's go right here. Let's click on assimilate. All right, so assimilate. All right. So boom. So assimilate, verb. It says absorb into and make part of the body, right? It's a part particular of a similar, to make like, copy, imitate, assume. It's saying to form of foreign, pretend. It's a from assimilation. It's say to make similar. It's say from like, resembling of the same kind. So it's a meaning, make alike, calls to resemble, and in transitive sense becomes incorporated into. All right, so that's what assimilation means. Assimilation is also making you, basically assimilation will also refer to this right here. This will be assimilation. The families of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule and who are under state and territory laws exercise the rights of citizens are to be enumerated. And you already know what they classified as. So you exercise the rights of citizens, you are classified as a citizen. And it's saying this is what assimilation is. So, and what did this tell us about assimilation? It says indigenous people have the right to maintain, express, and freely develop their cultural identities in all respects, free from any external attempt at assimilation. Okay? Now, look, let me see something real quick. Let's go to this one right here. Let me see something. So let's look up the word. Let's look up under Title 18. What is the word genocide? Or let's see something. Make sure I'm at the right place. I think it's these sites that got my computer running slow. All right, here we go. So Title 18, 1091, genocide, right? Now look, it's a basic, whoever, wherever, in time of peace, in time of, all right, it say whoever, wherever, in time of, no, in time of peace and in time of war, and with specific intent to destroy. Okay, so if they destroy your culture, what is that called? That's called genocide, right? Now I say in whole or substantial parts, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group, such as kill a member of that group, cause any serious bodily injury to members of that group. It's saying cause permanent impairment of mental facilities of members of the group through drugs, torture, or similar techniques, right? It's a subjects the group to conditions of life that are intended to cause a physical destruction of the group in a whole part. So basically forcing you to assimilate is basically genocide. And what did the Andrip just say? Well, the A-drip rather. Let's go back to the A-drip right here. Let me open this up a little bit too. In case you guys can't see it. Ladies and gentlemen, all right. All right, right here. So oh fuck, this shit is. Oh, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right here. All right. All right. So here we go again. Indigenous people have a right to maintain, express, and freely develop their cultural identity in all respects, free from external attempt to assimilation. Number 2, the state shall not carry out, adopt, support, or favor any policy to assimilate the indigenous people or destroy their culture. So destroying your culture will be what? Genocide, right? But also they telling you they can't destroy your culture. They saying that you had a government to government relationship with the United States. Okay, now I'm kind of got some questions about some of that too, but nonetheless though, so you had a government to government relationship between them. So basically assimilating you and forcing you to be classified as color is what did genocide say? What did Title 18 what did Title 18 say? It's a basic offense, whoever, wherever, in time of peace and in time of war, and with the specific intent to destroy what? Your culture, right? In whole or in substantial part, national, ethnic, racial, or religious group, right? It's saying such as kill a member of that group, cause any bodily injury to members of that group, cause permanent impairment, okay? Permanent impairment. Okay, it say of the mental facilities of members of the group. So permanent, also mental facilities. Well, when we say mental facilities, that could mean that you don't know where the hell you from. And I'm gonna show y'all something else, right? Hold up, let's go back here real quick. Hold up, Boobies. I think it's this one right here. Let me see something. Let me make sure this is it. Cause I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Let me. I think it's these two. These shits be running mad slow. Every time I open that the Bouvier up. All right, so let's give it a second for it to come through. I hope everybody enjoying the bill. Hope you're getting something from it. Like I said, this is what I do, man. This is what I've been doing from day one. But you got you fake ass fucking Indians who be trying to bang against me because I understand what the term more means or whatever. But check this shit. I got something for you motherfuckers, right? Check this out. Let's go to the word idiot. All right. It say a person, idiot, right? Let's highlight this. All right, any day now. Every time I click on something, Chrome not responding. What the fuck? Oh, God damn. All right, there you go. So, idiot, a person who has been without understanding from his negativity. All right, so let's look up what the word negativity means. I'm not even going on there. I'm going to look it up right here, right? So this is actually in the 1828 dictionary. Let me see. So it's a nativity. It's a birth. It says the first one, which is a noun. It say the coming into life or the world, right? Then it says number two. It's a time. It's a place and manner of birth. It's a to calculate one's nativity, right? So it's a three state or place of being produced. Okay, now what did it say? It's a person who have been without understanding of nativity is state or place of being produced. All right. So basically nativity. So you're an idiot if you don't know where you came from. Okay. I guess I explained that shit right, but pretty much that's what it is, basically. All right. It's a state or a place of being produced. Where would you produce that? You're produced in America, right? All right. So if you have been without understanding of you from your nativity or whatever, then you are deemed a that's in the Bouvier's dictionary. Okay. Um. So let's move on. I'm actually gonna close this shit out because this is bugging. I'll close this one out. You know what? Let me close these out too. Here we go. Chrome not responding. I think it'd be Chrome too, man. Because every time I use Chrome, I'll be having this problem too, man. I'm gonna stop using Chrome. This shit is full of shit. Hold up, matter of fact, let me see something. Shit right here too open. What the hell is this? Let me close that out. Alright, so boy, it should take forever, yo. What the fuck is going on? Alright. I'm gonna have to do a part two. I cannot do no video while this shit doing this shit because it's making me forget a lot of shit that I'm trying to do. But basically, do you guys understand what's going on? Like as far as that little bit of information that I just put together right there. Do you guys understand what that means? Do you understand everything that's dealing with that? All right, okay. That's right. You're right about that, Orchard. You're right. Peace, Laney. How you doing, Laney? I know a lot of you guys in here, but I barely see Laney too much. Peace to the sister. Peace to all the Aborigines in the chat room. So you guys getting an understanding from this when Indians not taxed is not to be enumerated. And like I said, no disrespect to the brother Creek and Kalinago and what they was talking about yesterday as far as the 1820 census. Okay. Anything you put yourself on, you are a citizen. Okay. Indians not taxed are not to be enumerated, not to be evaluated, not to be assessed, not to be handled, not to be touched. So if you're not to be evaluated, if you're not to be evaluated, not to be assessed, okay, not to be enumerated, that means not to be counted. I mean, see, the thing of it is this, man. And I'm gonna just leave y'all with this, right? You might as well just stay United States citizens for you guys who not built for this shit. Just stay United States citizens, live, work your jobs, pay your taxes, or whatever. If you're not built for this, all right, you're not. I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like, really. Because you got a lot of people who be running around talking about they Indians and they pay taxes. And like I said, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but this is at least a little understanding for those of you who didn't know about this. So if you didn't know, if you was ignorant to it and you didn't have an understanding, I kind of understand that it's not, and I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about people who've been doing this shit, making videos, talking to different people. And none of these people telling you Indians are not to be taxed. But you got a so-called Moor, or what niggas running around here telling you a Moor, and I'm putting this information out. And that's what I'm saying. I put out information like this and motherfuckers just be banging. Oh, he's a Moor and all this, that, and the third. That's why I didn't want to fucking do the video from the beginning. Because a lot of you motherfuckers, you niggas, this shit is entertainment to you guys. You don't want to be an Indian not taxed. You want to be enumerated. You want to live in state territory and to be counted and exercise the rights of citizens. That's it. Not all of you guys, but the majority of the motherfuckers who pop shit, that's what you are. You're a United States citizen, so until you become a real Indian, don't say shit to me. Don't come, comment, oh, you're more, kiss my ass, okay? Because understand that you should be focusing and putting all your energy into becoming an Indian not taxed. How do you got time to make videos and oh, he's a Moor, but the Moor is giving you this information, all right? And that's what I'm saying, man. I don't give a fuck if a cat walked up to me and told me that I was an Aborigine, I'm gonna respect that cat. You understand what I'm saying? But like I said, people don't have a good understanding to what's going on. I mean, you're going to look, paperwork, you're going to need paperwork. You're going to have some trace of evidence of who you are. So you're going to need, didn't your ancestors have paperwork? Didn't they put papers in the Bible? And didn't they do stuff like that? Didn't they have documentation? You need the documentation. You ain't got no paper or you ain't got no proof of who you are. They could just snatch you up and fucking deport you. So you need paperwork. You have to put people on. I'm not, and it's for entertainment purposes only. I'm not telling you niggas not to do shit. Because you ain't gonna make no motherfucking video about me telling them, yo, A1 said do this and it didn't work for me. Oh, now I'm blaming him. Nah, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm an Indian not taxed. Okay, I'm an Indian not taxed already. So however you, or Aborigine or a Tauntaun, that's not taxed. So like I said, this is for entertainment purposes only, Aborigine, Mac. Okay? Because it is. I'm not giving nobody, I'm not telling nobody what to do. I ain't nobody parents. People grown, people have their own control in their mind. I just basically read the shit to you, everything you need to know. And if you can't fully comprehend that, then maybe you with me and maybe you are hooked on phonics as well. So, like I said, don't make no fucking videos if you ain't gonna make no videos about Indians not taxed. And you still, you know what I'm saying? And you got people who is supposed to be, who's supposed to be Indians not taxed, not telling you this. You understand? That's all people supposed to be making videos about. Look, no, to show you the history. What did I told you the history? We went through anthropology, went through archaeology, we showed you James Chatter. This is a heavy. Also, I mean, I got plenty of joints to go with this, but look. Whenever this shit come on, here we go, here we go, here we go. We already know who the Aborigines are. The Aborigines are the first inhabitant. What did James Chatter tell you? Who did James Chatter tell you who the earliest Americans resemble? Okay? So if the earliest Americans resemble them or whatever, what happened to them? Oh, I'm going to tell you what happened to y'all motherfuckers. This is what happened to you right here. The family of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule. So that's how your ass disappeared. Because you renounce your tribal rule and you live in under state territory and exile the law of the rights of citizens are to be enumerated. Opposite their name in column 6 under the heading color. That's it. That's where the Indians that James Chatter was talking about went. That's where the Indians he was talking about went. That's where the Indians that disappeared, that's where they went. They are the family of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule and living under state territory law, exercise the rights of citizens are to be enumerated. Okay? Under the heading colored. Okay, but check this out real quick. Let's go to something else real quick. Let's go here real quick. I'm looking for something in particular. No doubt. I got you in a minute, Wild. Give me 1 second. I got you, brother. I'm going to put the link back in the chat room, so if anybody want to come through real quick, I got to be out of here within probably about the next couple minutes. I'm going to put in the chat. Wow, you ain't got to worry about that because I'm going to put it in the chat. Let me just try to find this what I'm looking for real quick. Hold up. What the fuck? Hold on, I'm looking for one thing. Nah, I ain't there. Hold up. Let me see something. Let's go here. Come on, computer. Why you keep fucking with me? God damn. Any day now. Shit. Just to click on a tag, this shit still don't fucking be responding. I do not know what the fuck is wrong with this damn computer, man. And this shit got way more memory than my other computer had. And look, here we go with this shit. Just give me a second, let everything come open up. And remember this too, right? That 1860 census and enumeration to the U.S. Marshal, that was done in 1860. That was 64 fucking years before Walter Ashby Plecker applied that to the people in Virginia. All right. So for 64 years, you already had people who was being classified as colored, who has renounced their tribal rules. Boy, this fucking computer, my God, man. Give me a fucking break, man. Here we go. Okay, computer, come on now. Any fucking day now. God damn. Shit's aggravating as hell, yo. I'm about to, after I do this, I'm gonna let, matter of fact, you know what? Let me put the link in, because this, the fuck, yo, this shit freezing up everywhere, man. Every time I click on something, this shit freezing up. All right, hold up. Let me go. Hold up. Matter of fact, no one. Let me put the link in the chat real quick. All right. I just put it back in there. They go the link right there to come on in. So why, if you in the chat room, just click on the link. Oh, Cam Lewis, I thought you was coming through, Cam. Click the link. Let me see. Excuse me. All right, so they got a link right there. You see the link? Hopefully you guys get it. Just come in. When I click back on the screen, I'm gonna click y'all in, or whoever comes in. All right, so boom. All right, so let's go right here. Y'all already know who Walter Plecker was. All right, so it said he was a promoter of eugenics. All right, so eugenics. All right, so we know who created the eugenics. Plus, also the people who created eugenics. They was part of the Anglo Society. No, I think it's called the Anglo-Saxon Society. All the motherfuckers was part of that. All of them, and they had subgroups to that. So a lot of these so-called organizations, eugenics, and all these other Walter Plecker was also, he was down with what's my man name? Darwin. And Darwin cousin, what's the nigga? Francis, can't get his name out right now. But that's who this nigga was part of. And I bet you he was doing the bidding of them, all right? It's saying the eugenics, a discredit movement aimed at scientifically proving white racial superiority. All right, so that's white supremacists right there. It's saying thereby justifying the marginalization of non-white people. Employ Virginia Act to preserve racial integrity. Plecker effectively separated Virginia citizens into how many? Two simplified racial categories. White and what? White and what? Color, right? Okay. Check this shit out. Now, this happened way after what originally happened, right? So the law, which remained in effect until 1967. Now, listen, I'm not telling you niggas nothing. Read between the line unless you hooked on finance. If you hooked on finance, just email me and I'll tell you through there. All right? It say which remained in effect until 1967, when it was overturned by the United States Supreme Court in the case of Loving versus Virginia. All right, so now, what I mean, but remember, some of us already renounced our tribal rule. All right, some people already renounced their tribal rule, but the ones who didn't, he was automatically doing this, and this just didn't happen in Virginia. This happened in 15 other fucking states, man. It happened in Alabama, and remember, all of that was Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. All of that was Florida. So check it out. They say required that racial description of every person recorded at birth, while criminalizing marriages between whites and non-whites. Plecker, listen. They telling you who the Indians are. Look, listen to this. Plecker policies use deceptive scientific evidence to deem blacks as a lesser class of human beings, but they also targeted poor whites and anyone who or other eugenicists considered feeble-minded. Okay, asserting that the Virginia Indians were in fact a mixed-blooded Negroes. But who did he aim the policies at? They say the policies use deceptive scientific evidence to deem blacks as a lesser. Now, he's telling you that they only had two classifications. So there wasn't no black people. It was white and color. Okay? But they're trying to throw you off by saying, oh, now they was fucking with black people too. No. The black people are the colored people, motherfucker. And we know that. We know that. And how can we easily do? We can easily do a, look. Easy Google search. Check this out. Let's take a look at this. Okay. So when we see these signs, it don't say nothing about blacks. It says nothing about blacks, right? You see this lady right here? It says colored only, right? It says white only, colored only, right? So you see this lady right here? She's classified as a colored, right? But look at all the color interest only. It say we serve colored. All right. It say whites only, colored only, colored only, colored only. Don't say nothing about black people, you stupid motherfuckers. They never called you black until the 1960s. Okay. Colored only, no whites allowed. It said we serve colored. All right. Look, colored waiting room. Look at the brother right here. Look, colored. This is a nigga right here, but he's classified as colored. Okay. He's classified as colored. And what did it say? What did it say? It says it said the law remained in effect until 1967 when the Supreme Court overturned it, right? But who was he targeting? Who was Plecker targeting mostly? He gonna tell you the colored people are the black people. That's it. That's it. Said Plecker policies use deceptive scientific evidence to deem blacks as a lesser class of human beings, but they also targeted poor whites and anyone who he or other eugenicists considered feeble-minded. Okay? Considered feeble-minded. Asserting the Virginia Indians were in fact mixed blood of Negroes. Now look, it said mixed blood of Negroes, right? But what is this guy telling you right here? What is he saying the first Americans resemble? What is he saying the first Americans resemble? So if you guys don't believe it was Negroes here or the people who, the people who come here with the Pan-African shit and they don't understand it, I got numerous sources, triple sources. I mean, shit is going on and on, man. It really does, man. All right, whenever the shit opens up. So every time I click on something, it should take forever. Here it go right here. It said the shorter and narrow faces say Native Americans mostly closely resemble the modern people of Africa, Australia, and South Pacific. It's saying this led speculations that perhaps the first Americans and Native Americans, they said the first Americans will be considered what? Aborigines. The Native Americans is saying came here later. Okay. All right. So, and even when you get into this is a good read too right here. This is a decent read right here. This is the Black Builders of Stonehenge. It says right here, it say blacks built many pyramids in the Americas. There are a number of similarities between the pyramids in Africa and those in America. Okay. Let me see something. I don't know why it's so damn cloudy like this. Shit normally clearer than this. The fuck? Let me see something. Let me see. Hold up. And people don't think the pyramids is important to build on. You know what I'm saying? You out of your mind. If you motherfucking, you found the ancient teepee. You don't find no teepees around here nowhere. Cause we wasn't living in teepees. We was living in fucking structures, man. And I think a lot of them brownstones that was in Brooklyn was already there too. I think that they was built at least about 600-700 years ago. Anybody who live in Brooklyn, because you can't even find no construction of them shits. They have no construction when they constructed the so-called brownstones in Brooklyn. So that will lead a lot of stuff you find even in New York, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just in the South or in Tennessee or Alabama and Georgia where we find these structures at. Look, this should take forever, yo. How the fuck can you do a video with this shit taking long to load up like this? Come on, computer. Come on. I'm about to shut this shit down in a minute, yo. I cannot do no video while this shit keep freezing up on me like this. This shit is mad annoying. Oh boy, come on, computer. God damn. The whole fucking screen went black. This is fucking unbelievable, man. The fuck, yo? Here we go. Shit. I don't even know why this shit is. It's not even clear, yo. I'm gonna just skip this one right here. Let me go back to the chat, see if anybody came through. Alright, left every voice. I'm gonna put the link in the description one more time, y'all. Alright.
Peace and light, brother.
Peace, my brother.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you hear me? How's my sound? Because sometimes the
You good?
oh, okay, cool. That's what's up, man. I just want to say peace and light to you first and foremost, and everybody in the chat. You really dropping some solid information on the family right now, and I hope they're paying attention. The first thing I wanted to confirm, as far as the information you're putting out, is the census,
Mm-hmm.
and also about how Indians are not supposed to be enumerated. So that question came up like a couple days ago while I was on another platform, and I answered it to for the family the same way you answering it right now. We on the same page, on the same accord.
You know
You
what, my
see what
brother?
I'm?
Introduce yourself to the people so they know who you speaking to.
Oh, okay. So by the way, I am Brother Jamal, and my platform is loosely called Lift Every Voice. I think everybody could understand why I call it Lift Every Voice, but so that's my platform on YouTube. But I'm actually gonna change that channel, and I'm gonna have a brand new, fresh channel, so the family can come through, and I could do similar things that the brother here is doing. I'm aspiring to be like you, brother. You have
I mean,
a good following.
brother, listen, you like me. You already like me. You know what? You trying to be better than me because I'm hooked on phonics. So you want to be better than me. But I appreciate that, my brother. I definitely appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate you brothers, sisters, send me. But like I said, this information is yours, okay? At the end of the day, I'm trying to just help people do what they can do for entertainment purposes only. Aboriginal Mac, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, at the end of the day, man, I'm not giving nobody people grown-ups. You know, if you don't understand what the fuck we going through, then look, turn this shit off and watch some other go watch some cartoons or something, because this shit ain't real. Then you know what I'm
Mm,
saying? And I'm
that's right.
showing you the A drip. The A drip is telling you they cannot forcibly simulate you. Okay, so but you forcibly simulate yourself every day. I ain't filling out no paperwork. I ain't filling out no paper. All right, okay, all right. Don't fill it out then. Stay a citizen. Stay Indians that renounce their tribal role. That's it. That's it. Stay being a citizen. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing, because this ain't for you. And matter of fact, you know what? And if you want to stay being a citizen, don't even claim you're Indian and go back to your African American status, because
Mm,
it's not for
mm.
you. Not for you.
Well, I want to bring up 17. I believe it was 1790 was the first census, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So, so before that, they had to convene and talk about the whole procedure and how it's supposed to be done.
Mhm.
So what I was able to find is the actual bill that they had, drawn up with all the instructions to the marshals that were supposed to carry out and basically the assembly, right, told them this. He told the marshals that Indians are exempt, not
Turn your
taxed.
hold on. I'm sorry. Turn your cam if you want your camera to show.
Okay. So it's clear. I mean, it's stated in black and white
Now go ahead.
that Indians are not supposed to be even counted, okay, because they're not taxed, okay? And the only reason that now,
So what? So all right.
go ahead, brother.
Now go ahead. Keep building. Keep building. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Keep building.
okay. So that means within the very instructions of the census when it was first instituted, when it was constitutional, the one that we have now is not actually constitutional. The census that's being carried out now, believe it or not, is based off of the 14th Amendment. So if you consider yourself a 14th Amendment, citizen, then you go ahead and fill it out. But the constitutional one that goes back to 1790, the instructions were not to count any Indians. And when they say Indians, we know who they're talking about. They're referring to us. They're referring to our people. They're referring to our forefathers. Okay, the term Indian or more, these terms they use, they're referring to us. All right. I just want people to kind of be clear on that and not get confused over semantics. Okay, so we were not even supposed to be counted or even touching the census whatsoever. And also, we're not taxed on top of it. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that everybody gets that information. And also, it's confirmed, brother. You have somebody right here that's vouching the information you're putting out. It's important that we show people that we are all on the same page. The researchers, the ones that's been in this for the longest, we're on the same page and we're telling you the same message. If you're going to be a free national or Indian, a Moor, which, puts you in a different status, it's time to really start being that, an actual fact. You know what I'm saying? And there are, there are avenues for you to do that. But if you're afraid, if you're scared, if you think, because you see a census or canvas, a census person who's canvassing the area and you get scared, you think that's the official thing, it's, their authority, then go ahead and capitulate. That's you. But if you're going to stand on law, if you're going to, if you're going to operate, from your true standing and your status, then you don't touch the census. I don't care what boxes are on there. You don't add a box or anything like that, because the census basically is a head count. Okay, so head counts are for prisoners, for property, for animals. You're not a prisoner. You're not property. You're not an animal. Why would you need a head count? So.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Hold on, Mike Easton. What you say? Hold on, let me put this one up real quick. You got something you want to add to that, Jay? I think your mic muted, Freeway.
Yeah,
Freeway. I'll wait till he comes in.
Yeah, we can.
All right. But as far as what you just said, you know what I'm saying? Hold up. I wanted to see what Mike Easton put up. I put it up there. It say everyone in this chat is a United States citizen of America right now, regarding that you are an American Indian or not. And that's true. And that's true. Like I said, you got people coming talking about you can't listen. Like I said, man, I mean, this is it, man. This is it right here. This is it. This is it. And like I said, it's not no for me to do no more videos on. I showed you the pictures. We done went through. It's not no. It's really nothing else, man. It's at this point in time, it's really nothing else to show you, man. This is this is it right here. You know what I'm saying? This is it. This is what you people wanted. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want it, then keep it moving. Yeah, we know we the first inhabitants They cannot force you to be assimilate into their culture, bro. Or we see what the to be assessed, not to be evaluated, not to be handled, not to be put in a burden. They take when they tack. We went over the genocide. What is it? What is genocide? Oh, you know what? I ain't want to click on no more links because this shit is freezing up. But we went over gen. I'm gonna read through this. I promise you guys. I'm gonna close out all this shit and open it up. I'm gonna read through this. I'm gonna add some more to it because I got some more to add to it. I actually the 1790 census. Hold up, let me see if I. Hold on, I'm gonna put it back in again, Waha, just in case you want to come back there. This shit's freezing up. Hold up. I got it on my phone right here because I was trying to actually just upload it.
Okay. Well, as you look through it, I want to confirm with everybody. Once you make the decision to start operating within your true, status and capacity, whether you want to call yourself an Indian, there's avenues for you to do that. A good example would be, the question of, what do you do when you have a car? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how do you stop them from ticketing you and doing all these things? Well, guess what? There's at least 7 to 10 states that I can name right now that basically recognize tribal license plates. Let me repeat this. Whatever tribe you're in, you can petition the state to issue you special tags and special license plates that reflect your tribe. And then, that puts you in a status of, they don't detain you, they don't tax you, they don't ticket you. Do you understand? Are people listening? Do we have to bring this up and show it to people? Okay. The state that has the most tribes who are recognized by the state and are issued license plates is Oklahoma. Okay. Also Maryland, Delaware, okay, North Dakota, Wisconsin. I can go down the list and I can give you the names of the tribes. So why aren't we petitioning the states to give us our license plates so we can operate and drive? We don't have to look goofy with funny license plates or, feel like, like we're being hunted by these cops when we're in our cars. We just petition, get our license plates, put them on our vehicles, and then they'll know what to do. They'll know not to stop us for no frivolous nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
And
their
also
property.
Exactly. Also, you can also petition to get yourself a passport card. Okay, as a free national, as an Indian, or whatever you want to call yourself. But if your status is that of someone who's been have the option through the Department of State, right, to the State Department, to get yourself a passport card. Now, with that passport card, guess what? Once they see it, it will say, "Do not detain, do not arrest." Okay, it will have a exempt. Once they put it up in their computers, it has an exemption. They cannot touch you because you are a national. And you also have a lifetime license to carry. Okay? So your constitutional rights are protected. I hope people are listening. And so what I've been doing is I've been working with people, doing consulting and helping them, get all these things, worked out. That's what I do. I don't get into the back and forth, what words we use. No, you want to get your passport, you can get the passport card or your actual passport book if you want to travel internationally. If you want to talk about how to protect your vehicles, you don't even need car insurance. You just get a bond. Okay, you don't even have to pay car insurance. Mm-hmm. So if you know your rights,
a surety bond. You said, well, hold up, real quick. Hold up, you're going too fast on that. Let's reserve that insurance thing. I want you to touch on that alone. You could touch on that alone. All right.
Okay.
But keep elaborate because I want you to touch on that because a lot of people don't know. Now, let me ask you a question. We're gonna touch on the insurance thing, but do you know just for the people that works or that do have employment through the state, how they can go about becoming an Indian not taxed? I mean,
As
there's a
far as
lot of
getting
different
the
ways to do it. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but do you have
right.
any? Do you have any foreknowledge on that as far as like going to, you know what I'm saying, going to your human resources and what type of article? Actually, all that shit I just showed you, you can bring in there. Everything I
Hmm.
just showed you, everything I just showed you, the UNDRIP, the Constitution, all this shit you could bring in there and show them. I'm an Indian. Now that I know I'm an Indian, you can't do nothing about me claiming who I am. It only worked when I
Right.
didn't know it.
Right. Right. Yeah. You have the right to petition. See, I want people to understand the difference in terms of law. You know, because every word you use in law has a definition. So that's why there's the Black's Law Dictionary. So when you petition, right, a government agency, you're giving them an order. Okay, you're giving them a command. You don't apply for stuff. People that go and apply for stuff are the people that end up. Understand? You don't want to, when you send stuff out, you don't want to make it as an application. You want to make it as an affidavit or a petition because you know your status. You have
Hmm.
the highest status on in the land. This is your home. So when you speak, whatever you say takes precedence. Okay? That means whether you say it verbally or in writing. So you send out petition. You petition them for those rights, because they're not there to give you rights, but they're there to ensure the rights that you already have. But if people aren't exercising them, if they're not standing on them, then they don't feel obligated to tell you. You understand? So, like you said, a lot of people just abandon their role. They've abandoned their status. And that's what they like that. They like when you abandon. So that way your estate and you know what I'm saying, your property is cheats back to them. They love it when you abandon stuff. Because like laws on abandoned property is this, finders keepers. But if you step into your role and you know what avenue to follow,
Peace,
then you
peace. Can
should be
y'all
able
hear
to.
me now?
Peace and light, brother.
Peace, peace. Yeah, nah. Go ahead, bro. I was just trying to see if this mic was working. It wasn't working at first.
Yeah.
All right. I think there we go. All right.
Well,
Damn.
basically, a lot of the things hang out because it's powerful. Made to the circle here. I've kind of been working on my own for many years, researching, studying. I've actually been,
Damn, he got kicked out too. What the fuck is going on? Come back on in and lift every word. There you go. All right. All right. Freeway. You're freeway.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. My man just dropped out, but now you in. Can you build, elaborate? I'm about to bring you back and lift every voice. I just want the brother to get this out before he get kicked back out. Hold on, what the fuck is going on? Oh, there you go. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I'm
Can
here.
you elaborate a little bit on a Title 25 Indian? What's a Title 25 Indian?
Title 25 Indian, just simply put, is a Native American. And you'll have to go into the Title 25. Actually, what people don't understand, it's the Alaskan Land Claim Act from with the United States and Alaska, and that happened back in 1856. Right. Well, I say about mid 1800s. I don't know the exact date, but it could be looked up. But the point is, when it's talking about those people, it's talking about those people that was caught up in that land purchase. So those are the Title 25 Indians. So when you go into the actual Title 25 and you go into the agreement section and contracts with and treaties, and you're gonna look for the definitions. Everything dealing with law, you have to look at the definitions. I don't care where it's at. Like, you can't just use any old definition. Law specific, especially when you're dealing with like United States codes or even state statutes. They all have definitions, and you have to deal with the definition first to identify who it applies to and what it applies to, and that's key especially when you're dealing with the term Indian, because the term Indian itself has different meanings right now. So it has a lot of connotative meanings, meaning, people use it in different ways now versus what it meant back then. So when we was talking about what y'all was speaking about earlier with the 1790 census, that was the first census. But when you go into the language, that language was verbatim what the Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3 of the Constitution, what that was saying. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good? You good?
Yes,
Go ahead.
sir. Yes, sir. My mic was the one that kind of went out. But go ahead, bro. We hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm on the freeway, so I'm looking at the thing. It keeps saying I got a problem curve. But okay, cool. So when you look at Article 1, Section 2, Clause 3, remember the Constitution is where the census law come from, and people got it. It ain't just the acts itself. Like the 1790 Act was just an act itself that Congress put in place for the United States jurisdiction. And you did mention earlier that the that we know of today is the corporate body, which the one that was created in 1871, the District of Columbia, as a municipality. But they also did another thing people miss. They created the District of Columbia, and the 1791. That's when they created that jurisdiction there. So it's you got to pay attention to in terms of the law, and it is layered. It's all about jurisdiction, and that's the whole point of the census. A lot of people asking, "What's the point?" Well, the point is jurisdiction. Your status gives you jurisdiction. So before anything could be done, in terms of the law, your status comes first, and then with your status comes the jurisdiction. So that's the trick that they've been playing on us the whole time. We had our own jurisdiction, and even with the jurisdiction that they had, it was only for commercial purposes. It never was meant to be to the extent as we see it today. It was just strictly supposed to be for commercial purposes. And to be quite honest, it's still for that purpose. Because even when you deal with Code of Federal Regulations, 72.11, all crimes are commercial. Everything, they make everything these quasi crimes, basically crimes that they call them crimes, but they're not crimes. So, and everything is for a commercial purpose on a federal level. And then that carried off into what we now have the states and stuff. They have their own statutes and things, but they have to be in line with the federal statutes. And it may vary from state to state as to what, they apply. But again, it's based on jurisdiction. So that's why your status is important. That's why it's important to make sure, and if you are claiming to be an Indian, understand what Indian not taxed mean. You do have to understand what that means, because a lot of people have what you call in law minimum contacts. So that's going to be your birth certificate, your social, well, not yours, but the birth certificate, the social security card. You got the the voter registration card. All those things are evidence of you being a citizen. So when you go back and correct those documents, even if you have a job, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not necessary for you to have a social security number. That's for United States citizens. It's not meant for you to have a birth certificate, once again, because you are who you say you are. And your family records, that's the whole point of everybody doing genealogy, is for you to trace back your lineage, because that's the terms you want to be using. You want to use lineage. You don't want to get into family and all that stuff. You want to talk Indian talk, and that's the reality. So going back to the 1790. So when you get back into these dates, you want to be able to know for a fact that how to express this to come knock on your door. And as an Indian, not taxed, you're supposed to know what to do. You're supposed to know how to address them. And I think if I heard correct, I don't know who was just mentioning about an affidavit. You need to know what an affidavit is. You need to know how to draft up an affidavit. You need to know how to make that.
That was me, brother. I brought that up.
Okay, yeah, you need to know how to make that that link with your with your nation or your tribe, whichever one you use. You know what I'm saying? Some people use their tribe and some people use their nation. But the point is understanding that even when you use that nation or tribe, that it's not within the United States jurisdiction. Because y'all was speaking earlier, a lot of these tribes and nations are federally recognized and are under their jurisdiction. So that's another thing that you have to know, you know, in your own personal study, because no, it's not the same for everybody. Some people do have their records and stuff, but they might be under the United States jurisdiction, and you have to
Mm,
do that extra research to make that clear for yourself, especially if you are and understand what Indians not taxed is. So
Check it out, brother. I'm
yeah.
glad you brought that up because I have been introducing the family to the whole concept of affidavits, right? And the key is, though, that affidavits can be both written and verbal. A lot of people don't realize oral affidavits are also valid, meaning you can actually uh, contract, or, well, you guys know this in law, that you can actually make a contract orally, right? Does everybody know that?
That's right. All contracts, verbal contracts, are accepted in commerce. Or it says that
Okay.
when you study business law, a verbal agreement is just as good as a written agreement.
Awesome. So I wanted to address this because the brother said we got to be wary about how we talk to them when they come to our door. So if they knock on our door, everybody already knows what I've proposed, and it's worked for me. It's a remedy that has worked for me because of the stop and frisk situation that brothers and sisters were dealing with in New York. So what I did was I drafted or created an oral or verbal declaration. So whenever they approach me, initial contact does not happen with any IDs, driver's licenses, or anything like that. The initial contact that happens is me making a verbal declaration to them that, I declare my nationality, I reserve my rights, and also decline any offer to contract. So I say that to them directly, orally, verbally, so that they can hear it. It works as an affidavit. So that means you could have all types of paperwork, but if you don't understand law, you don't know how to stand on law, then you won't be able to defend any of your paperwork. And as a matter of fact, the oral affidavit is probably probably more powerful because you're using your word. Your word is your bond. So we got to go back to that. So when they approach us, we got to put them on notice. We let them know who we are. Okay, we say this for the record. I would like to declare my nationality. Now, if you know your tribe, you can say your tribe. I am, Indigenous American National. You say your tribal name, and then you say I reserve all my rights, and then you say I do not wish to contract with you or your agency in any way, shape, or form at this time. And then you ask them what the situation is. You must make a declaration like that first because guess what? They must record it. It must go on record. It works as an affidavit. The minute these cops approach you, remember, court is in session. They have to record everything you say. So we have to understand if we're going to be truly who we are, if you want to say Indian not tax, if you want to say more, if you want to say, you now must exercise the rights thereof. You must exercise them. You can't say, I have rights. No, exercise them. Make a verbal declaration. Learn about writing a written affidavit as well, because you can get remedy through that as well. But don't go into the habit of handing over little IDs, you know, especially if you didn't, clarify with the State Department that you are a non-citizen national. Because once you become a U.S. citizen, which is the jurisdiction of District of Columbia, you are now a ward of the state. You are a minority. Okay, they can treat you however they decide. And so I wanted to interject and bring that into the whole discussion. I don't know if the brother is still here. Are you still around, brother?
Jay,
Yeah, I think he got knocked off. But
he dropped out.
this is
Hold on, I think
yeah, yeah. I think our people we're getting to that point where we're starting to understand to put them into action. Like you said, brother A1, we're not putting any of this stuff into action. You brought up Walter Plecker. These guys, they were not playing, man. They went into these, legislative bodies with an intent, and that intent was to disenfranchise us even further. Although it started early, like you said, but they wanted to disenfranchise our people. As a matter of fact, you know what he said? He said that he didn't want us to pass for Indian. Do you hear this?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that means, how is it that we can pass for Indians if we weren't the Indians in the first place, if we at least don't look like them? So they knew what they were doing. They had an intent. And but
you know what?
Real
quick to add to that 1967 law, which is basically, they said that it was unconstitutional. So if you was affected by that, fill in the blanks. I'm not even gonna say nothing else. If you was affected by that, about them classifying you as colored, the 1967 Supreme Court, that's case law. That's case law. 1967. You got people with colored on their birth certificate. You have family members with colored on their birth certificate, so you could easily prove that you was classified as colored. It ain't say no Africans was classified as colored, did it? It says American Indians. Did it say did anything I read say anything about Africans classified as colored?
No.
Nothing. It said Indians. It ain't say nothing about no Africans classified as colored. And that's how they fucked up. By not saying, oh yeah, we classify African Americans too. No. They classify none of them. They telling you particular who they classify as colored. It's saying Indians have renounced their tribal rule and living among state and territory and living and exercising the rights of citizens are to be classified as what? Colored. Who was Martin Luther King fighting for? The colored people. That's what I'm trying to say. A lot of these social constructs, people, that shit override. Like I said, people was ready to shoot me to one just for saying I identify with the word more. Ray, shoot me.
Exactly.
Ray get all beat the fuck up just because I said I was a more.
Exactly. The NAACP, right, is for others.
That's right. And who founded that? Du Bois. W.B. Du Bois.
And it was funded by it was also funded by by Jews. I don't want to say that, but it's a fact. Man. So he got funded, and also, interestingly enough, Lift Every Voice was officially they call it the Negro anthem, right? But it was the colored anthem. And so I still use that as a way to kind of get our people's attention, but I'm offering something different. You know what I'm saying? But the first guy that was the president of the NAACP was the guy who wrote Lift Every Voice. So it's a lot of history there, and I've been looking into it. And you're right. If for some reason your birth certificate says colored, you got to thank Walter Plecker for that. And you can actually sue for damages, because there were a few of the brothers and sisters, natives, indigenous brothers and sisters, who actually won a lawsuit to be recognized for who they are. And I have the names of those tribes if anybody's ever interested in finding out, you know what I'm saying? But you're right. You can't just accept that, because that's not you. And you can sue for damages because of what Walter Plecker did, man. Mm-hmm. You know, you owe damages. You owe justice.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. That's your remedy right there. But you know, like I said, you heard it from me. Y'all niggas think y'all niggas classify me as a Moor without me ever giving anybody any Moorish instructions or whatever. And here we are talking about Indians not taxed or what? Okay. And like I said, man, you know, niggas can hate me at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this for the people who show love, man. For I got 18,000 subscribers. I can say at least 7 to 8,000 of them are loyal people come through or whatever. And like I said, them for the Indians that really want to be an Indian but don't know what's going on out here. And people is not giving you, even the people who supposed to be so-called chiefs is not telling you what the fuck you supposed to know. They telling you not to renounce your citizenship, and I'm not telling you to. But what the fuck that it says? If you're a numerator, you're a fucking citizen. That's it. You can't be how you an Indian not taxed? If you're a citizen, that means you exercising the rights of a United States citizen. You can't be both. You can't be both. You can't be both. You only can be one or the other. And if you wanna be and exercise the rights of citizens. Look, man, you know, you got a lot of African American channels and all this, that, and the third. That's who you should be banging on. Not banging on niggas who bring you the information, and you can't even spit the bones out. You can't even say, well, you know what? Even if A1 does say he's or he identified with Drew Ali and identified with some of them, this brother then passed me off some great information. So I'm gonna give him a pass. I don't even want no pass, but I'm just saying, just on that notion alone. Because ain't none of these motherfuckers out here putting nothing out here in depth and giving you this information. I mean, I'm not saying you got a lot of channels out here who does certain things. No, Dame do his thing. AP, Chief. We got a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? Even Phoenix Moon and they do their work too. You know what I'm saying? They put out certain information that's valuable. But if you're not striving to be an Indian, not taxed, then that means all this shit is for nothing. It's just entertainment purposes. You see what the remedies is. I'm not telling you what the remedies. This is for entertainment purposes only. You have remedies. Go back and watch the video. I'm showing you the Supreme Court. That's case law. I know people who use Supreme Court ruling to overturn fucking murder sentences and give back time. So that's a standing in law. And if you think you have to be part of a tribe, you don't have to be part of a tribe because US 49. Hold up, I just had that up there. Let me see something. Let me see. Real quick. If this shit, let me see if it's going. Let me see. 49. All right, here it go right here. And this is basically for the Department of Transportation, right? But it says U.S. Code 49 U.S. Code 102, Department of Transportation, right? But when you go down to here, so basically this is the remedy that if you're an Indian and you're traveling, right? And let me see something. And remember how you enforce this and what do you enforce it with? Hold on, let me see. That's why I do not want to click on another screen because this shit is taking forever. All right, I think I can move it. All right, right here. F. See this right here? See this right here? It says, in the ordinance with federal policies promoting Indian self-determination, the Department of Transportation shall have within the office of the secretary a deputy assistant secretary for a tribal government affairs appointed by the president to plan, coordinate, and implement the Department of Transportation policies and programs serving Indian tribes and tribal organizations and the coordinates of tribe transportation programs and activities in all offices, administration, and departments, and to be a participant in any negotiated rulemaking related to or having an impact on projects, programs, or funding associated with the tribal transportation program. Now check this out. All right, now look. It says right here, it says reserve the trust for obligations. It says the responsibility of the secretary In carrying out this, the secretary shall be responsible to exercise the trust obligations of the United States to Indians. Look, it's saying to Indians and Indian tribes. So it's separate. So you can pretty much enforce this. You don't have to be part of a tribe to enforce. It's saying to Indians and Indian tribes to ensure that rights of the tribes or individuals are protected. B, it say the preservation of the United States responsibility. Nothing in this title shall absolve the United States from any responsibility to Indians and Indian tribes, including responsibility derived from the trust relationship and any treaty, executive order, or agreement between the United States and Indian tribes. Okay? And it says right here, say the rights of tribes and individual Indians are protected. Okay, individual. So you niggas think you have to be part of one of these fugazi ass tribes or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? These fugazi ass tribes, like I said, what it says. Individual Indians are protected. Individual Indians are protected. What did it say right here? What did Walter Plecker do? He classified, they telling you, he basically classifying black people as that, right? But what's the remedy? In the law, which remained in effect until 1967, when it was overturned by the United States Supreme Court in Lovins versus Virginia, required a racial description of every person to be recorded at birth while criminalizing marriages between whites and non-whites. Plecker policies use deceptive scientific evidence to deem blacks as lesser class of human being. Now, we know they wasn't even using black during that time. Okay? Now, look, it don't say nothing about no Africans classified as no motherfucking colored. Nowhere. You don't see that nowhere. Nowhere. You don't see it nowhere. It's telling you they classify Indians as colored. And then he even tell you that he used deceptive scientific evidence to deem blacks as a lesser class of human beings, but they also targeted poor whites and anybody who is considered feeble-minded. Okay? It say Plecker also pressured state agencies into reclassifying Indians as colored. Okay, look, let me start from right here. My bad. Right here, let me start from right there. It say asserting that Virginia Indians were in fact mixed-blooded Negroes. Plecker also pressured state agencies into reclassifying Indians. See, identity and has made it difficult for Virginia Indians to gain state and federal recognition. Okay, they telling you right there. The fuck is you making videos and talking about everything else and talking about all this shit? You got work to do. Okay, it says the law which remained until 1967 was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court. The case is Lovins. That's case law. And there's another thing what the brother was saying about law. Most of their laws outside of Indians not taxed do not apply to you. The only law apply to you is Indians not taxed. And what do Indians not taxed means?
Yep, that means not to be handled, not to be touched, not to be enumerated. Okay? So I hope the family is listening to you, brother. You putting out some powerful info for them, man.
Okay. And once you renounce your tribal rules and exercising under citizen law, meaning you have all the instruments that citizens carry, because Indians not taxed is not to be counted or not to be enumerated, not to be handled, not to be touched, not to be excessive, not to be enumerated, etc. So if you guys are running around here banging on people, worrying about, oh, this guy, and worrying about all this, and you motherfuckers still paying taxes, and all this shit is for what? How long this video is? Hold on, let's go back real quick. All right, it gets popped up. All right, so what tax means? Impose a tax on, right? It say evaluate. Okay? Evaluate means to count Okay? Estimate means to also assess and count. Assess, handle, censor, charge. Okay? It says to touch, handle. It says sense of to put to put burden, to put a strain on. So you're Indian not tax. You ain't under none of this. Whether you like it or you don't like it. But that's what I'm saying. As you wind down and you listen to certain individuals is not giving you proper information, man. And it is what it is. They're not giving you proper information, and they're not helping you become Indians not taxed. You know what I'm saying? They want you to pay attention to all this sideline beef among different people, and people can just automatically say, oh, well, who gives you the listen? I'm A1. I came into this shit by myself. All right. I came into it by myself. I ain't under nobody authority. I damn sure ain't under none of these fake ass Indians authority. And that's a fact. All right.
Facts. And you have tons of support. By the way, is my mic okay? Can y'all hear me? Because I was cut off for a second there.
Yeah, well, nah, you was cut out. Yeah, I wasn't. I can hear you now. But this shit,
Okay. But yeah, man, you a solid brother. You got brothers behind you that's vouching for you. Nobody's talking. By the way, nobody's out here that I've seen have said anything crazy about you. They know better. They know the amount of work you put in. You know, they see that you out here, you setting the example. You're not just talking, you setting the example, and people feel like you have a team that, or you have a platform that we could follow on a day-to-day basis. And the stuff you put out is months of research. Do you understand what I mean? Like a little tidbits that you put out there can equal months of research as far as law, history, right? Civics, science. I mean, it goes on and on. But if people are just haters, then they'll be talking about you. If they have some type of jealousy or envy, then they'll talk about you. Don't even look at it as them trying to go after you because you claiming this or you not claiming that. That's just jealousy talking. That's just the way I see it. Because you put out enough information to free so many people. You could free a whole generation with this type of information you're putting out here. Indian not taxed. You're talking about Walter Plecker, who they hid from us. They hid this dude in high school, elementary. They never talked about him. They protected him and his legacy, especially for those that's trying to get out of their system. So what you've done, you've helped free people for many generations. But if they have some hate, some jealousy, some envy, it's probably better to just let it go because the information is too valuable, you know. And with that, let me yield the floor for a second and let y'all, continue.
I think everybody sound messed up. Peace, peace, peace. Hit one if y'all can hear this. One, hit one in the chat.
Yeah, I could hear you, brother. I could hear you now. Somebody in the chat saying no sound.
All right, mic check, mic check, mic check. I'm back. This shit just muted my whole mic. So you ain't hear nothing I just said?
Yeah, I think your mic was muted for a second there, bro. I think also the other brother, he was silent for a minute.
Well,
Hopefully
niggas
we're
came
all
back
back.
in. Yeah, AP. You're
What's going on? What's going on, big bro? Peace, peace, peace. Yeah, your mic went out. I was just making sure everybody was good on the other end. But I think it was your mic, though, brother.
Peace, my brother. How you doing?
Peace, man. I'm just listening in, man. It's a deep build. I think the people need to hear this. These questions kind of get popped up. How do you operate? How do you use? And you pretty much just laid out the groundwork for that, man. It was a deep build, man. Shout out to you and the brothers that been on the panel building, man.
Peace, man. Hope all is well with you, my brother.
Say what, A1?
I said, I hope all is well with you.
Yeah, everything's sweet. I'm back in Philly. You already know.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. So like I said, man, at the end of the day, Indians are not to be taxed, okay? So, and then not to be enumerated. And I'm not, like I said, we we might just have a little slight misunderstanding when it comes to the census. But if I'm missing something, I'm always willing to stand to be corrected or whatever. But under my enumerated means not to be counted. So if you're not to be enumerated, means you're not to be added on to none of their stuff, because if they add you onto stuff, then you're property of that. So if you don't understand that you're still classified as property, even if you think you're an Indian. You know what I'm saying? You could say you're an Indian all motherfucking day. When you go in the store and buy something and you see the tax on there, nigga, when you go in there and go buy you a motherfucking pack of gum, nigga, and you see tax on there or whatever, so you gotta try not to pay taxes on a soda first or a bottled water.
And that's very true, brother. That's very true, because I've been I've been doing consulting and advising people, but you have to get your passport card that puts you in as a non-citizen national or indigenous national. And what happens is when you use your passport card to buy stuff, they don't tax you. You don't get taxed. Okay? You don't get taxed. Even if you're getting car insurance, which you don't need, but if you get that, you get to pay the least amount, if anything. Okay? So, but the thing is, your status must be recognized for the record. Okay? You don't have to correct anything. You must have it recognized. And the State Department has made it possible for you to do that. Look it up, everybody. It's called non-citizen national certificate. The State Department issues that to us, nationals, indigenous folks. Okay? Now, ask yourself this question. New York and New Jersey just decided to give licenses to people who don't even have legal paperwork. So if they can do that for them, what about us, who've been here forever? I don't know if people were paying attention, but New York just gave license. That's right, driving licenses. It's like a functional ID to people from other countries. Okay? So what are we doing? We're just sitting back and watching all this, taking shots at Brother A1 for bringing out information. Drama, beef. Is that what we're doing? So I'm available for that, for anyone that wants to go through that process of getting their passport card or passport book. By October 2020, everybody is going to be required to have some form of identification to even fly domestically. So you better be ready for that. You better be ready, and they better know your status and better recognize your status for the record. And you're gonna be uh, uh, basically labeled exempt. Do not detain, do not arrest, and you're gonna have your license to carry, lifetime license to carry, concealed permit, forever. You don't need no FPLA, whatever it is that they ask you for, because your constitutional right to bear arms is preserved under the Constitution. And once you declare yourself as Indian not tax, Moor, or indigenous national, guess what? They're not gonna treat you like they do those U.S. citizens. Watch what's happening in Virginia. They're taking these people's guns away. That's because those people don't know their rights.
Mm-hmm.
They're U.S. citizens, so they're gonna get their guns taken away. But
Right.
if you have your passport card, they show up to your door. Guess what? They have to leave the minute you show them the card. And if you also make your declaration, they have to leave because you're a different style. You're a national. Nationals are above citizens. Citizens are above residents, and residents are above aliens. You're at the top of the food chain. Start acting like it.
Hey, big bro, I gotta get up out of here, right? But put your link, put your email in the link just in case if anybody want to contact Lift Every Voice, put your email in the chat room. And I'm just gonna wind this down because I gotta get up out of here. But like the brother was saying, man, you know what I'm saying? When you like listen, I mean, it's simple. It's simple. It's simple. It's simple. Before we get out of here, let's go back to this real quick. And remember what this documentation is saying. Indians not to be taxed are not to be enumerated. Enumerated means not to be counted, period. Okay, so you ain't supposed to be on nobody's paperwork if you're an Indian. Okay, if you're an Indian, you ain't supposed to be on nobody. Despite what all these people running around here telling you, and they giving you false information, they ain't even giving you this information. They telling you, oh yeah, they ain't even telling you how to claim it. They telling you to go through a damn tribe that ain't even, you know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, though, it's saying Indians not to be taxed, not to be enumerated, all right? Now, this is where you come in at. Real quick, one more time. Like I said, I've been using this shit for a couple of months now, and it haven't never felt me, okay? See this? This is the difference from you and Indians not taxed. Saying the families of Indians who have renounced their tribal rule and who are under state and territory laws exercise the rights of citizens are to be enumerated. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you something else. When you go to the Bouvier's dictionary and you look up citizen, it's telling you no Aborigine person could be a citizen. It's telling you that. It's telling you, hold on, let me see something. I still got Bouvier's pulled up. No, I got Bouvier's right here. Real quick. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick before if this shit do not freeze up. If it freezes up, then I'm not going to do it. Let me see. I got Bouvier's right here. Let me see. And hopefully, man, when I do my next bill, I can get the brother Jay Freeway because he be actually, man, he'll be actually going back and forth with a lot of this information or whatever. And you know, like some of the information, like he put me on like the Title 25 Indians and all that. Like, look that up. You know what I'm saying? Look some of this information up that people showing you. You know what I'm saying? And like it says, it's saying the concurrent. So this is the concurrent resolution, okay? It's saying to acknowledge the contributions of the Iroquois Confederacy of the nations to the development of the United States Constitution and to affirm that the continuing government relations between Indian tribes and the United States. So it's saying Indians got their separate government. So why would you be part of their government or be counting on their government if you're supposed to be an Indian? So with that being said, man, I don't know what else to say, man. After, you know what I'm saying? Hold up. Let me see something. Hold on. Let me click. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. If it let me pull it up real quick, I'm gonna go for it. All right, come on, computer, come on. That shit is simple though. Like I said, it's very simple. I mean, like, you know, I'm hooked on phonics, and I understand this shit. So I know if I'm hooked on phonics, you guys can do it, right? Let me see. Hold up. I want to pull a word citizen up real quick in the booby ears. Come on, computer. Stop fucking with me. All right, hold on. Let me see if it's going to come up. Come on, computer. Shit. All right, hold up. Let me see. All right, so let me go back up.
Yeah, this was a good build, man. This is well needed, man. So I hope y'all got y'all pad.
No doubt, brother. I mean, that's what I'm people like at the end of the day, like, you know what I'm saying? And people don't need the day, man. You know, all this shit is just look. See what this says? Look, we go to Article 3. This is citizen right here. Look, see what citizen says? This is citizen. It says citizen. It say one who is under the Constitution and laws of the United States, who have a right to vote for representatives in Congress and other public offices, and saying qualified to fill offices, etc. Right? But it say in a more extended sense, under the word citizens are including all white persons born in the United States and naturalized persons born out of the same, who have not lost their rights as such. This includes men, women, and children, right? But then they go right here. Look, let's go down right here. What do they say? What do they say? It say all natives are not citizens of the United States. The descendants of Aborigines and those of African origin are not entitled to the rights of citizens. The anterior to adopt the Constitution of the United States, each state had a right to make citizens of such persons as it pleased. The Constitution does not authorize anyone but white persons to become citizens of the United States. And this is the fuck people was telling you by telling you they wrote the Constitution. We wrote the Constitution for them. That's why it's excluding us from any of these laws, because we got supreme law of the land. So I don't think you guys understand, man. Like, you know, I mean, you know, look, read it again. Let's touch on this one more time, just in case. No, some of us are hooked on phonics. So let's go back. Let's read it again. We told you what a citizen is, right? They say all natives are not citizens of the United States. The descendants of Aborigines. Who's the Aborigines? The first inhabitants of the land. Who did James Childs say? The Aborigines resent to adopt the adoption of the Constitution of the United States. Each state had the right to make. Let me see. Let's click it down. So each state has the right here to make citizens as such as it please. That the Constitution does not does not authorize any person citizens of the United States. And it must therefore be presumed that no one is not white, okay, who is not white. You see that? Look. Just in case you hooked on phonics like me, look, you see, we highlighting it right here. Therefore, be presumed that no one who is you already know what it is. You already know how to get in contact with me. Like to reach out to me. I'm about to actually put my in the link. I'm about to get out of here. You guys know how to get in contact with me. I'm about to put my email right here. So if you like to email, ask me any questions about this, I'm more free. If you email me, just put your number in there. So I'll call you up or whatever, and we can have a con. I don't fuck all that keep writing shit or whatever. But with that being said, man, I hope you guys got something out of it, man. I hope you guys enjoy the bill or whatever for entertainment purposes only. And you guys got work to do instead of going back and forth arguing with. And that's another thing. You got people who go back and forth and tell you, oh, you're not this. But when they around Mongoloids, don't say shit. They don't say nothing. They would sit there and tell you, you're not an Indian. You're not an Indian. How the fuck you going to tell somebody who grandparents already told or family members already told them that? You got the power. You ain't got no power over your motherfucking self because you still a citizen. You're not Indians, not taxed. So at the end of the day, you ain't got no power. You got the same. You got the power to. You have the right to. You have the rights of citizens from all these people who be out here popping shit. Telling, oh, you're not an Indian. You can't be an Indian. You fix your status first before you could tell somebody else who they is. So with that being said, you already know who this is. Ahanu the guy, aka Ahanu L, aka A1, aka Thompson's one. And with that being said, peace. And if you like to donate, go to my you can go to my either my Cash App, or you can go to my PayPal account. And if you like to cop yourself some Aborigine wear, go to my Tonsinus American site at T-Shirt Spring. And also with that being said, I'm going to put a T-shirt up there. It's going to say Indians not be taxed, not taxed, straight the fuck up. And I hope you guys support it. So with that being said, man, you already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to everybody. And my bad. Hold up. AD. My bad. Hold up. AD. I seen actually, you know what? Let me see something. I'm sorry, AD. Let me see something. AD, look. Please email me one more time. Please just email me as soon as I get the email today. Just put your contact information one more time. I'm so sorry because you know what? I got YouTube connected to my email. So sometimes like when it's kind of hard for me to really go back because I've been getting so many emails coming at one. I'm very sorry. And it's not nothing personal, AD. Please email me one more time, please. And I promise you I will reach out to you. If you email me today, I'll reach out to you tonight. So with that being said, man, shout out to everybody in the chat room. And like I said, anybody else who I suppose a call or I suppose an email back or whatever, and you didn't get my email, please work with me. You know what I'm saying? Things is like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things going on sometimes, and you know how it is. It's nothing personal, man. Nothing personal. And you guys know I reach out to you guys. I call you. I have no problem with that. So with that being said, I already know, like I said, you like to donate, you already know where to go. You like to cop yourself a T-shirt or any Aborigine wear, you know where to go. And if you want to become an Indian not taxed, then you got some idea on where to start. So with that being said, shout out to all the Aborigine, North, South, Central, and Kerjoining Island. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters who was taken aboard to Europe and other places. I got another bill coming for you guys. I'm going to do it to your Nochin land, and we're going to get real busy with that because I'm going to show you that they found. And the funny thing is this, right? If they were saying that Muslims was in America, it's hard for you to even detect that because they don't got no Muslim. None of the motherfuckers is religious. Study the Muslim religion. I'm just going to narrow it down. Has so much information on that. So we're gonna get into it. And like I said, with that being said, man, shout out to all you guys, whatever, whether you have differences or you have disagreements with me, man. Thanks for the support. And with that being said, I'm out of here, man. Peace to all the Aborigines North and South. Peace.